Hey folks, I'm Brendan, and you're watching the Overqualified Henchman. Today I'll be taking a look at Series 15 of LEGO's Collectable Minifigures. Make it rain! Oh, I gotta pick all those up now. Each wave of minifigures comes in blind bags, featuring one of 16 different characters. And I must have them all! So without further ado, let's crack these guys open. Well, old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm, he had back printing and sleeve printing, printing on his feet for boots, and a pitchfork for warding off overly enthusiastic cosplayers. We've had a lot of space-themed characters in the minifigures line, but this more realistic astronaut is a nice change of pace. I always love to see that classic space logo worked in various places, and it makes him a really nice counterpoint to the original LEGO spaceman. Beware, ye knaves, the wrath of the frightful night. This guy's got a lot of great detail on him between his armor and his shield. He even has a little bit of a fang sticking out over one lip on his head printing, which suggests an interesting backstory. The clumsy guy cannot catch a break. Those crutch pieces are actually all new, and they work really well without getting in the way of the articulation too much as you move his arms around. If you look closely enough, you can even make out the writing on his cast. The big news with the Tribal Woman minifigure is definitely the new swaddled baby piece, which I think we can expect to see more of in the future. That said, it's always a little awkward when LEGO does these generic Aboriginal characters, but at least, no. He is a golden god! The Flying Warrior is definitely very shiny, and it was a chance for me to check out some of the Legends of Chima pieces that I hadn't had in hand before. The look they're going for really reminds me of the Gods of Egypt movie that's coming out soon. Get ready for some pandemonium because it's the Faun. He's a hirsute little fellow with a horned hairpiece, but naturally the most exciting thing are those digitigrade legs. I'm always happy to get more mythical creatures to flesh out the gang. I have to admit, out of all the archetypes we've seen in the minifigures line, Animal Control Officer wasn't one I saw coming. That said, she ended up being a lot of fun. The skunk piece is all new, and the double printing on her face really takes her from being just a profession to a character. Speaking of professions, let me tell you about the Janitor. Now, he's not a proud man, he's not a fancy man, but when there's a dirty job and some man's gotta do it, well, the Janitor, he's your man. The Ballerina's tutu piece is interesting because while we see a lot of pieces that go between the head and the torso, we don't see that many that go between the torso and the legs. And she'll need that tutu as she stars in this summer's rom-com blockbuster, Brick Up 2, Brick Up to the Streets. Next up we've got the Laser Mech, and if that's not a name that deserves a guitar solo, I don't know what is. Diddly 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 Laser Mech! Diddly 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 villains beware or you'll get laser wrecked! The Kendall Fighter is an interesting addition to all the sword fighters we've gotten in the minifigures line. He does have printing on his torso and legs, but it's very dark and difficult to see. His swords are cast in a brown plastic to make them look more like Boken, and I think the effect works pretty well. The latest in the animal costume minifigures is Shark Suit Guy. Between his fins, two expressions printed on his head, and the way his face pokes out of the shark's mouth, he's basically the star of the wave. In fact, he's such a star, he belongs on stage at the halftime show. Ladies and gentlemen, get on your feet and put your hands together for the Ultimate Wrestling Champion! Now announcing his new line of designer cosmetics. I kind of feel like I need a cameo from Rockapella to the Jewel Thief Justice. With her jumpsuit and grappling gun, she's looking very Selena Kyle, but I'm happy to have an unnamed cat burglar to match wits with all of the lawmen and police from the minifigures line so far. Last, but very much not least, we have the Queen, Her bustle is a huge 2x4 brick piece, and matched with the double capes, does a really good job of making it look like she's wearing a huge dress. Can we talk about the ringlets on that hairpiece? Each bag will run you about $4 Canadian a piece, which can get pretty expensive pretty quickly, especially if you're trusting random fate and not filling up plastic bags in the toy store like a weirdo. One suggestion would be to split the cost of a whole box with a few friends. That way you can divvy up the figures and each get the ones that you want. Shout out to my friend Mel for hooking me up in this case. For me, the most important thing for a figure is personality, and these guys are dripping with it. Just be warned, they are highly addictive. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe for lots of other nerdy reviews here at the Overqualified Henchman, and do me a solid by remembering to like and share. Leave me a comment down below to let me know if you'd like to see more LEGO reviews, or even reviews of the past waves of minifigures. Until then, keep on henching. Make it...